Hi guys, today we are going to solve the data structure Jan or Feb 2021 old question paper. Let us get into the solving. Module 1, first question A. First question they have asked for 10 marks. A question. Define data structure. Explain with the neat block schematic different types of data structure with example what are the primitive operations that can be performed. So there are many sub questions. Firstly, what is data structure? Data structure is a way of collecting and organizing in data. Firstly, we have to collect, then we have to organize. How we are going to do? In such a way that we can perform operation on these data in an effective way. Some operations we will be doing and that should be meaningful and it should be helpful, so we will consider in an effective way. Data structure is about rendering data elements in terms of some relationship for better organization and storage. In some way, if it is related, then we will group it into one. Okay, it is all about organization and the storage. The classification of the data structures can be classified into two types: primitive data types and non-primitive data. Obviously this is the types of data structure, so you have to write as primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Under primitive data structure we have integer, float, character, pointer. In non-primitive data structure we have arrays, list, files. Under list again it can be classified into linear list and non-linear list. Under linear list we have stack, queue, and under non-linear list we have graphs and trees. We have to explain what is primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. As we know that data structure is divided into two categories: primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. What is primitive data structure? Primitive data structure means these are the basic structure, and if you are directly operated upon by the machine instruction, any machine instruction, and if we are using that for our operations or to perform some operations, then we call it as a primitive. Primitive is nothing but basic. Basically, meaning of primitive is basic. These are the basic structure and are directly operated upon the machine instruction. They include float, integer, character, pointer, and so on. What is non-primitive data structure? Non-primitive data structure is derived from the primitive data structure. We see sometimes we need our own kind of groups or our own kind of data types, then those kinds we call it as non-primitive data structure. Generally, language provides a way to defining our own data types. Such data types are kept under the non-primitive data structure category. Therefore, these are derived from the primitive data structure. As I told you before, it is derived from the primitive data structure. The non-primitive data structure emphasizes the structuring of a group of homogeneous or heterogeneous data items. We will group in such a way that whether it is in either in the homogeneous category or in heterogeneous category. Homogeneous means collection of same data types. Heterogeneous means collection of different data types. Best example for homogeneous you can say is arrays, list, files, stacks, queue, graphs, and so on. We do have the best example for the non. 1b. Define sparse matrix. Express the following matrix in triplet form and find its transpose. For 10 marks they have asked this question. So this is the matrix they have given. Now firstly we have to define what is a sparse matrix. Before telling what is sparse matrix, firstly we should know what is a matrix. Matrix is nothing but it is a rectangular representation of numbers in terms of rows and columns. Vertical, this way if we go it is a row. This way if we are coming it is a column. Rows into columns, m rows and n columns. What is sparse matrix means? Sparse matrix is if at all the matrix contains more non-zero values. More non-zero means it contains more of zero values. See here we can see number of many zeros are here, right? So no need to waste the memory for all, even for the zeroth item. In case of sparse matrix, what we do is we will only store the non-zero elements like 15, 22, minus 6, 91, and so on. Now let us see how we are going to represent this matrix into the sparse matrix, that is in the triplet form. Triplet means three form, right? What are the three forms that will be considered as row, column, value? As we know that the array, we are doing it in terms of array, so it starts with a of 0. Firstly, we have to specify initially number of rows, number of columns, and number of non-zero values we have to specify. How many rows we do have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns, and that is what we have mentioned here. 6 rows, 4 columns. Values we have to mention. Number of non-zero, whichever is not at all 0, those values only we have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have taken it here, it has 7. Now step by step we are going to perform using the row operation itself. First row, right? This is first row. This is second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, and sixth row. Wherever non-zero elements are there, that only we have to specify. Here, first row, first column, we have 15 value. Put it down. In row number 1, column number 1, we have 15. Again, see in the row, first row itself, any value is there? Yes, it is here. So, first row, fourth column, we have the value 22. So, first row, fourth column, it is 22. Nextly, now let us see the second. That's all. First row is completed. Now let us operate for the second row. Second row, second column, we have 11. So you have mentioned as second row, second column, we have to take it as 11. Second row, third column, we have 3. So we have to mention second row, third column, we have to mention it as 3. Third row, only last element, fourth column, we have -6. So you have to put is 3, 4, 6. Okay. Then in the fourth row, everything is 0. Don't do any operation. Come to the fifth one. Fifth row, first column, we have 91. So 5, 1, 91. You have to mention 5, 1, 91. Then in the sixth row, third column, you have 28. So it is 6, 3, 28. So this is how you will write the sparse matrix. Very simple. You have to firstly take row, column, value, number of rows, you write number of columns and number of non-zero values. Then start from the first row. Any first row, which column, which value you have to write. This is very easy. You have always, the array will start from 0, the number of entries, till that you have to enter. Okay. Now let us see the transpose of this sparse matrix. Transpose is nothing but interchanging rows into columns and columns into rows. The values will change. That's it. Now what we have to do is, here in the transpose matrix, wherever the row column was there, that we will consider it as row. See here, here 1 is there. Wherever 1 entry is there, that is our row, right? So 1 entry, this is our row now. 1, 1, 15. Mention that. Firstly, these are the entries of rows, number of columns, and number of non-zero values. Obviously, value will not change. It will be 7 only. Rows will change into columns, column will change into row. Before it was 6 row, 4 column, right? Now it will become 4 row, 6 column. Value will be the same, 7. Now see, first row, first column, we have 15. Write it as first row, first column is 15. Next, again check for first entry. Here it is. So first row, fifth column, it is 91. Make it as first row, fifth column, we have 91. Next, again you should check the column section only. Okay, that is our row now. Second, now for 2, what you have, only 1 is there. Second row, second column, the value is 11. Mention the same. Second row, second column, the value is 11. Next, anything else? Nothing. So third row, second column, we have 3. 3, 2, 3. You have to mention 3, 2, 3. Again, in the here is there. Third row, sixth column, you have to take it as 28. Mention the same. Third row, sixth column, you have to take it as 28. Next, fourth row, first column, we have 22. Make it as same. Fourth row, first column, we have 22. Then again, what else we have here? Fourth row, third column, we have the -6. Then fourth row, third column, it is -6. You have to mention.